Hello everyone. I am Dr. Madhurima, working as Assistant Professor in SMS Lucknow. The topic on which I will speak is accounting errors. I shall cover what are accounting errors, how it is different from fraud, stages of errors, classification of accounting errors, and procedure for its rectification. The greatest mistake is to imagine that we never err. Committing errors is human nature and that cannot be stopped. It can only be mitigated by being cautious and continuously improvising. Now let's understand what are accounting errors. Accounting errors are those mistakes which occur in the bookkeeping or accounting relating to a routine activity or relating to the principle of accounting. It is a non-fraudulent discrepancy in the financial documentation. It actually differs from fraud. Unlike an accounting error, accounting fraud is a deliberate falsification or misrepresentation of the financial affairs of the entity. An error in accounting is a non-fraudulent error in double entry bookkeeping of transactions. In most cases, it happens due to a lack of accounting knowledge or carelessness of a bookkeeper or the accountant. So if these errors are not fraud, then why we should be even bothered about? What harm are these errors going to do? Well, minor errors will surely not make much impact. However, weaknesses in accounting, estimating, billing and reporting can all lead to huge losses for companies. Errors in financial spreadsheets can put millions of dollars at risk for the companies. Now let's see some of the accounting errors which were very expensive for the companies. In 2014, the major car rental company Hertz discovered $46.3 million worth of errors in its 2011 financials. The errors covered a wide range of company activities including uncollectible fees for damaged vehicles and restoration results. Hence, the company's stock price dropped by 9% on the news. Bank of America. Not a good year for accounting accuracy. 2014 also saw Bank of America overstating its available capital by $4 billion. Undetected for several years by the company's in-house accountants and its external auditor, the error resulted from a miscalculation relating to the losses from the bank's acquisition of the Merrill Lynch investment firm. Well, the moral of the story is one should learn from these blunders and not make the same mistakes, as it leads to embarrassment, if not huge losses. No one wants their business to suffer due to simple accounting mistakes. Now let's move further to understand during which stage generally the error occurs. The error could occur during recording the transactions, at the stage of posting the entries in the ledger. There could be partial omission or complete omission, or could be wrong totaling of accounts, or posting on the wrong side, etc. The error can also happen at the stage of balancing the ledger accounts, like wrong totaling of accounts or wrong balancing of accounts. It can also be at the stage of preparing the trial balance, like taking the wrong account, taking the wrong amount, etc. Now let's categorize the accounting errors. There are various types of errors. However, we'll focus on the major ones only. Accounting errors are basically of two types: error of principle and clerical errors. Clerical errors could further be classified as errors of omission, errors of commission, and compensatory errors. Now let's understand all these errors in details. First, we'll talk about clerical errors. So, errors of omission will occur when some transactions are completely omitted from the books of accounts or entered but not posted. The errors of omission may happen as partial or complete. Let's see the distinction between partial and complete omission. In partial omission, the transactions are recorded in the books, however not posted in the ledger, whereas the transaction is completely omitted in case of complete omission. For example, goods purchased returned to the supplier is entered in the purchase returns book but not posted to the debit of the supplier's account. It's an example of partial omission. A transaction relating to the receipt of cash is not recorded in the cash book is an example of complete omission. Partial omission is quite easy to locate since the trial balance would not match. However, in case of complete omission, error is very difficult to locate as there would be neither a debit nor a credit entry in the ledger. Hence, the trial balance will not be affected. Now moving further to errors of commission. When a transaction is entered in the books of accounts wrongly, it is called error of commission. These types of errors occur basically due to ignorance or negligence of the bookkeeper, clerk or accountant. Hence these are called clerical errors or errors of inadvertence. Now let's see some examples of errors of commission. When the wrong amount is entered in the subsidiary book. Example, instead of 1000 rupees, accountant entered 10,000 rupees. When an entry is posted twice, when books are wrongly cast, that is totaled, when the wrong amount is posted in the ledger, when an amount is posted on the wrong side, or balancing of an account is incorrect, or when the wrong total is carried forward from one page to another. In case when the wrong amount is entered in the books and if an entry is posted twice, the trial balance will tally, while in rest of the cases the trial balance will not agree. Hence for such scenarios it will be easy to locate the error. Now the difference between the error of omission and commission. The error of omission is when a transaction is not recorded in the account books, in whole or in part, whereas the error of commission is when there is an incorrect recording of transactions in the account books. Error of omission is a mistake, whereas error of commission is carelessness, negligence or lack of knowledge. Error of omission can be rectified by correcting the entry, whereas error of commission can be rectified by debiting or crediting the wrong account and posting it to the correct account. Trial balance matches in case of complete omission and does not matches in case of partial omission, whereas trial balance may or may not match in case of errors of commission. Now moving further to compensating errors. Now compensating errors are those errors in which one of the errors already committed is being offset by another error or more than one error. A group of two or more errors, each of whom individually affects the trial balance but which collectively nullifies each other's impact, is called compensating errors. Now example. If sales book is overcast by 1000 rupees and the purchase book is also overcast by 1000 rupees, the net effect in the ledger will be nil because the over debit in purchase account will be nullified by the over credit in the sales account. The rectification entries for compensating errors are made by correcting each error individually. Now coming to error of principles. It is basically caused due to bookkeepers or accountants' ignorance or improper understanding of principles of accounting. Now, as per double entry system, every debit has its corresponding credit. The accounts will be arithmetically correct only if there is the same amount at both the debit and the credit sides. The error of principle means recording the transactions violating the accounting policies and procedures. An error of principle is an accounting mistake in which an entry is recorded in the incorrect account, violating the fundamental principles of accounting. So basically, error of principle is procedural error, meaning that the value recorded was the correct value but placed incorrectly. In case of error of principle, there is no effect on the trial balance. This is because the amount is correctly posted on both the debit and credit sides, but in incorrect accounts. For example, treating the purchase of an asset as an expense. This is an error of principle. An error of principle is more likely to be committed when the accountant does not have a good understanding of accounting concepts and terms used in accounting. This error resembles error of commission, except in one respect. Errors of commission usually result in an oversight, whereas an error of principle is caused by a lack of knowledge of accounting principles. These errors are made because of the following reasons. If the accountant is unable to make a distinction between the revenue and capital items, unable to distinguish between business expenses and personal expenses, or could be due to its inability to make a distinction between the productive expenses and non-productive expenses. These are some of the reasons why this type of error occurs. Now, an error of principle can be considered a material error because it can affect how decisions are made. If a company discovers an error of principle after reporting its finances and determines that the error significantly impacts the report, it typically issues a restatement. Now moving to the procedure to rectify the errors. There are mainly 3 steps involved in order to rectify the accounting errors in the books of accounts. One is likely to keep repeating the same mistakes all over again. If one does not agree, it's a mistake. Not admitting a mistake is a bigger mistake. So first step is basically to accept that there is an error in the books. Ascertain that error has occurred. Then identify the correct record of transactions which has to be done, and finally do the rectification entry. Charles Colton rightly said, ignorance is a blank sheet on which we may write, but error is a scribbled one on which we must first erase. So, we need to erase the accounting error by the rectification eraser before it becomes a complete mess and erases the